Hello, everybody. My name is Brian, and I live here in Jefferson City, Missouri. I am not originally from here. I moved here back in September of 2021. I originally grew up just outside of a small town called Huntsville, Missouri, which is in the northeast portion of the state, approximately 50 miles north of Columbia. I went to West Rand R1 School District from kindergarten through my senior year in high school. I graduated high school there before going to the Navy, and then when I got out of the Navy, I moved back to Missouri, and I've been, living and working here in Missouri ever since. I have had a lot of friends and even family members, tell me off and on here and there that I should, you know, maybe try posting some video content on social media because I do a lot of really interesting stuff. I grew up on farm properties and such, so I worked with livestock and bucked hay in the summers and all that kind of stuff. Excuse me. So I have quite a bit of experience with that sort of thing. But the biggest thing is the hobbies that I grew up doing. Like a lot of Midwestern kids, I grew up hunting every fall during deer season, and in the wintertime, for rabbits and things like that. And that's something that I've always been interested in and passionate about throughout my whole life. Because here in Missouri, for anybody who isn't familiar, deer season, especially rifle season in November, we get 11 days every year, and it's like an annual holiday around here. Um, and there are tons of people in this state, that deer hunt every rifle season, and then we have a ton of people that come in from out of state and hunt here because we have a large population of whitetail deer, and we have really good numbers on trophy whitetail bucks as well. So this is a very popular and common whitetail hunting destination, as is most of the Midwest states. Iowa's a big deal. Illinois and Nebraska and Kansas, they're all big whitetail producing states, and we're no different here in Missouri. Um, I also grew up doing a lot of fishing and camping and hiking and all that sort of thing, and so those are all things that I still do as an adult, and I still have a lot of interest in and passion about in some cases, especially fishing. I'm big into that, and I have two boys. I take them hunting and fishing with me every year, and I've been doing so since they were quite a bit smaller than they are right now. I started both of them deer hunting with me when they were 3, and now my oldest boy is 7, getting ready to turn 8, and my youngest is 5, getting ready to turn 6. So, I've been doing all this stuff with them for quite a while, and they've both been fishing since before they were 3, actually. And we spend as much time together as we can, and we really get a lot of enjoyment out of the things that we do together. So, my intention is to post videos on YouTube and on Instagram and TikTok, and I just wanted to make this first video to kind of introduce myself to everybody and get it out there in regard to what am I going to be making content about, and what are my videos going to involve. um, Primarily I intend to I love to cook, especially outdoor cooking, grilling, smoking, stuff like that. And then also I've got a Blackstone I really like to cook on it also. So I intend to make some cooking videos on in my grills and smokers, and also with my Blackstone griddle. And then you know I'm gonna do the best I can at making some deer hunting related videos as well. Upcoming here pretty soon, I'm going to be working on putting in a new kill plot for this fall, for my deer hunting, my primary stand area, and I intend to make some videos and take you guys through that process, kind of from start to finish, and we'll see how all that turns out. And then I intend to do some videos while I'm hunting, and hopefully we'll get we'll be fortunate enough this fall to take some deer like we do most years, and if we do, then I may make some videos on the butchering process, because I know there's a lot of people out there that either don't butcher their own deer because they take it, to someplace else and have it butchered and pay what I consider to be a lot of money to have that done, or they don't know how to do it, so they have a family member do it for them, or some friends or something like that. So, kind of making some videos on really good and proper deer butchering processes would probably help a lot of people and be something that a lot of people would be interested in. And fishing, that's going to be a big one. That's probably going to be at least half of my content, because I fish year round. Mostly I fish for catfish primarily, and we do catch catfish and keep them and eat them. Primarily, between 1.5 pounds and 15 pounds though. I do target trophy fish, but I always do catch and release on trophy fish. Get weights and measures and good pictures, and now hopefully some video, and then release them unharmed to the water. We also do some bass fishing here and there, especially during the spawn when the catfish are spawning, because catfish, as some people know, they don't feed during the spawn like bass and crappie and a lot of other fish species do. So they're hard to catch during the spawn, which lasts about a month. And so we do quite a bit of bass fishing and stuff like that during that time to kind of fill the void while we're waiting on the post spawn to kick in and the fish to be biting really good, because when they haven't eaten for quite a while, they they basically go on a feeding frenzy. And then catfishing is, catfishing pre-spawn is really good, but as far as I'm concerned personally, the post spawn is especially immediately at the post spawn, that's one of the best times to be catching catfish of all types. And then if you're targeting big trophy fish, particularly blue cats, wintertime is one of the best times to do that, because they get holed up, in the deeper areas of the river or lake or what have you, and then they're pretty easy to target. So we're going to do a lot of fishing videos. I do, some spring and summer and fall crappie fishing as well. I'm no expert crappie fisherman, but I do enjoy doing it, and I crappie fish, to eat. So, and of course we always follow any rules and regulations of any area that we're in when we're fishing. So, there won't be anything illegal being done on this channel, obviously. And then, I'll probably do some other videos, some review videos, because there's a lot of topics that I like to talk about, especially involved with hunting and fishing, and equipment and stuff. And I have a gunsmithing degree, and I've done gunsmithing for a long time. I did a weapons job in the military, and when I got out of the military, I went through all the steps to get my gunsmithing degree. So I have, purposely attained a lot of knowledge in regard to guns and gunsmithing and ammunition. I do reload my own ammunition, and I've been doing that since I was young, like 12 years old was when I started doing that. And I do, and I shoot, all types of guns. I've got, rifles, shotguns, handguns, and one of my biggest passions when it comes to shooting is long distance shooting. I've been doing that for a really long time, and I consider myself to be quite good at it. I know there's definitely people out there who are obviously better than I at it, but I'm not shabby either. I've shot some competitions where I did really well, and we may do some long range shooting videos on my channels also. So anyway, if any of this stuff is content that you're interested in, and give my channels a try, see what we're about, and hopefully I'll get a lot of likes and subscriptions to my channels, and we'll keep going from there. As of right now, as I said, I wanted to do an introductory video to my channels, and it's basically an experimental thing at this point. Dipping my toes in the sand or the water or whatever, however you want to say it. At this point, I don't have, and I'm not for a while going to invest in, fancy cameras or anything like that to do this stuff with, until I see, how this goes. So right now, for a while at least, I'm going to be, recording and posting all of my videos to social media using the camera that is on my cell phone, which is a Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. So it does have a very good camera, and I will be able to, do a pretty good job of recording my videos starting out and all that stuff, especially after I figure out some more of the settings and such on this phone camera. So we're going to do the best we can to put out stuff for you guys, and I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, give me likes and subscriptions and all that stuff, and we'll see how everything goes. Thank you, and have a good day.